Out of all of the characters I have tried to pull in Wuthering Waves, there has been one that has evaded me every single time. But today is the day where we bring home Shorekeeper. Or at least I hope it is, because we are, again, on a 50-50. However, we do have about 17 pulls, and we are at, I believe, 50-ish pity. This should be around 50, 60 something pity. I'm not 100% sure. But it is not a 5-star. Don't really care about any of the 4 stars because most of them are already S6. And now we are left with not that many pulls. We have 7. So this should be sort of around our 50, 60 pity now. So we might need to get a little bit early, but let's see what we can do. Now, luckily it is a brand new version, so if we don't see a 5-star immediately, I have ways to get more pulls. Although it would be nice to see a 5-star straight off the bat, because that would make my life a lot easier. We have 1 pull left. Let's see what we can do with this. Do we see a 5-star? We do not see a 5-star. Okay. But as I said, brand new region. We have a lot of new things to do, so we can probably get enough pulls pretty easily. Also, they actually added in this. Not specifically this, but see how the ones I've completed already have a little tick on it? I love that. Because before I used to go through and have to check all the things to make sure I've completed the events, but now it's just boom, you've completed everything. I reckon the first thing we should do is jump into the new region and do some exploration there, because that will give us some very, very easy astrite. And it means I don't need to go do the new main quest, which I don't really feel like doing right now because they're generally pretty long. But that doesn't look like a massive area, to be fair. Although I should actually probably finish the previous region, because apparently I haven't 100%ed the previous Fabricatorium. Is that how you pronounce that? Whatever that is, I haven't finished that. So I should probably finish this first. It is now a couple hours later, and as usual, I went a little bit overboard with the farming, and I may have brought it up to 97%, and the only reason it's not at 100 is because this is locked behind the main quest. That, though, isn't including any other chests that aren't in this stuff. I had to do a little bit of the main story quest just to get down here, but I basically just got to the point where we could start exploring the area, and then I just left it. I did do this stupid crab quest over here, which for anyone who comes over here and tries to figure this out, it is very, very painful, but there's basically a bunch of little crab statue shrine things all dotted along the sides of the water. I think there's like 7 or 8 maybe. And it took me an hour to figure out how that little mini quest worked. But in doing all that, we have managed to get 2,411 astrites, which should be easily enough to get Shorekeeper, or at least the 5-star. We are at 57 pity currently. So this will take us to 67, which I think is past soft pity. So with this 10 pull right here, we should see a 5-star. And do we see a 5-star? Oh, okay, we don't see a 5-star. Okay, we've got a couple more single pulls left, so let's do this. This will be 68 pity, and it's another 4-star. I don't need more of you. 69 pity. Oh, okay, that is the 5-star. Please, please be Shorekeeper. Yes, finally. Oh, thank God. You have no idea how painful it has been not having this lovely girl for so long. I have lost every single time I've tried to pull for her. Finally, we have Shorekeeper on the account. Shorekeeper honestly has one of my favorite designs. I absolutely love her design. So I'm just going to quickly have a look at what I can throw on Shorekeeper at the moment. I do need to do a bit more work to fully level her up, but let's just have a look at what we can do weapon-wise. I'd assume this is probably our best bet. Obviously, as is pretty standard, Shorekeeper's weapon would be the best, but I currently do not own it, and I would like to save my astrite now for both, I can't remember her name, and also for the next version's characters. So let me just quickly throw some levels into her. I don't know how far I'm going to be able to bring her without doing some farming. Well, we can get her to level 60. I don't think we can go 70. Oh, we can go 70. Okay, lovely. What about level 80? Are we going to be able to do that? No, because we need more of these. And probably also more of these to go to level 90. So I will have to go do some farming for your levels. I can just quickly throw some levels into your fortes while we're here though. as usual, I'm just going to try to max everything out. I don't think Shorekeeper really needs stuff like a basic attack or whatever, but I'm just going to max everything out because that's just how I do things. Now, we do need more of these, and I don't think we'll be able to get them because I haven't farmed this boss in ages. Oh, we can actually farm them this week. I didn't think we could do that. I thought I'd already farmed weekly bosses this week. Oh, you have no idea how good it feels to finally be able to just walk around and use Shorekeeper. I like see people just using Shorekeeper in every team and, everyone's using Shorekeeper and I'm like, no, I really want her, but I don't have her. But now we have Shorekeeper. So I'm gonna go do some farming for her. Farm these weekly bosses, farm her boss and her materials. I might also need to do a little bit of farming of these things and then we can have fun with the build side of things. Well, the farming has been completed. I have farmed her boss, I have farmed these, I have farmed weekly bosses, and I have also farmed these. I've also gone and actually looked at build guides to figure out how she works because I roughly know, but not fully. So we are going to be using her on the Rejuvenating Glow set with the Fallacy of No Return as the main one. Healing bonus, ER, HP, HP. But we'll deal with leveling those up in a second because first we need to level her up. Oh no. I don't have enough level up materials. That's crazy. Actually, I know why I don't have enough level up materials. Every single one of my characters are level 90. I'm not kidding. I have level 90'd every single character, whether I've used them or not. And I also plan to level up everyone's fortes as well, or at least get them to a manageable level. But I don't have anything else to farm, so that's what I have been farming. So I guess I'm going to need to go do some runs in this place over here. I absolutely love using Fullova in these sort of domain stuff because her forte bar, this heavy attack, it resets every single time you restart it. So I can literally go and claim my rewards and then boom, we can start up a new run and immediately do a massive attack and wipe out the entire first phase. And then we just do a couple basic attacks, throw out her skill and her echo a couple times and boom, we can run it again. So there we go, there's a couple runs in there. I may need to do more, but for now, we can get her to level 80, and we should be able to ascend her. Yes, we can. Boom, there you go. And we can get her to 87, so I will need to do a couple more runs. There we go, just a quick 2 runs, and we can get Shorekeeper up to level 90. So there we go, Shorekeeper is fully maxed out. Weapons sorted. Now we need to deal with this stuff. So first, let's do all these because they don't require boss drops. And then we'll go get all of these up to the level where they start requiring boss drops. Although I'm going to need to do some crafting for that, but that is fine. We have oodles of the greens. So we'll level all of these up to level 6. And then I believe you mainly want to focus on Resonance Liberation, Resonance Skill, and the Intro Skill. Because I know the Resonance Skill heals, and her Resonance Liberation increases crit rate and crit damage, which is very, very good, as well as healing. Her Intro Skill does a bunch of healing and has a 100% crit rate to do some damage, so it's pretty decent, I think. So I think the first thing we're going to do is unlock her Inherent Skill. And then we're going to do the Resonance Liberation up to 7, Skill up to 7, the Intro Skill up to 7, and we're left with 6. So I could probably go, I think I'm going to do Resonance Liberation up to 10, Resonance Skill up to 10, and Intro Skill up to 8. So there is the Resonance Liberation maxed out. We actually can't max out the Resonance Skill. I miscalculated. Or at least we can't max out if we also want to level up the Intro Skill. But I think just for the sake of having good healing, I'm going to bring the Resonance Skill up to level 10. And then everything else can stay where it is because I need to farm more weekly bosses. Wait a minute, I can buy... Since when was this a thing? Since when could I buy weekly boss drops? Okay, never mind. We're just going to max everything out then. Or at least the necessary stuff. So we can level up or we can activate all of these stat bonuses. We are going to be a little bit low on these, but no matter, we will deal with that in the future. For now, boom, that's all maxed out. Let's level up the Intro Skill up to level 10 as well. And then we're left with 3 of these. Now I could go buy more of them if I wanted, and I would need 8 total to max everything else out. I mean, technically I could go buy more of them, but I don't think these 2 are necessarily super important, so I might just level up the Forte Circuit a bit more. I might buy 1 so I can max out the Forte Circuit, and I don't think the normal attack's very useful. So that one I can do by actually farming the weekly boss. There we go. That is the skill, Forte Circuit, Resonance Liberation, and Intro skill, all up to level 10. Normal attacks at 6 because I don't really need it. Now that just leaves the Echoes. Now I think all we really want for Shorekeeper's Echoes is ER, HP, and a little bit of crit maybe? I don't think we really need anything, but I mean, hey, that piece looks pretty good. Double crit ER, that will do nicely on a healing damage bonus for cost. Supports are generally always pretty easy to build because I will basically take whatever I'm given. ER, Resonant Skill, Resonance Liberation, sure, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Shorekeeper just basically wants ER because that's what her crit boosting scales off of. Now, it doesn't really say anywhere what your healing scales off of, so I'd assume probably just HP. This is going to be the easiest Echo leveling up stuff because I can just bring them all up to level 25 and go, hey, look, that's good enough. Next piece. And if you're wondering why I'm so unfazed about spending all my Echo level up materials, I have 1,000 of the gold, whatever these things are called, so I'm not really too worried about using any of them. I also have like 10,885 of the premium tuners, so I'm again not really too worried about using those, which means that very, very easily Shorekeeper is now built. I mean, they probably could do some work to some of the pieces, but doesn't really matter. She has an 18 to 196. Crit ratio is not great, but again, we're not really building that. If I wanted to make her do a bit more damage from her intro skill, I'd run this as crit damage instead of healing bonus. But I don't really need more damage because I'm putting her on a team with either Fallover or Camellia, and they don't really need Shorekeeper to do any extra damage. She just needs to boost their damage because they do enough damage on their own. But for the rest of the build, she's at 36,000 HP, 1,000 attack, 245.8 energy recharge. I think that's good enough. And then some resonance skill damage bonuses and resonance liberation and all that stuff. Doesn't really matter. 48.4% healing bonus. So there we go. That is Shorekeeper built, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's anything else we can really do to her. So now we get to put her on a team and make my Camellia do too much damage. But first, we're going to do a run with Verena to get a bit of a baseline damage. I should also probably level up a second variation because Verena also likes it. And with a little bit of crafting, we can in fact get a second variation up to level 90. So now we want to go do some damage testing. And my immediate thought would be something in here. This guy's really annoying because he is invincible for the first part of the fight. We could also do the Lady of the Sea, which is kind of cursed looking. Actually, correction, that is very cursed. A human head on like a bird thing. I think we're going to run this dude though. Let's just see what we can do. So we're going to do a normal rotation. Verena stuff, we swap into Rochia. Do Rochia's stuff, get your outro skill, so we get the Havoc damage boost. Then we swap to Camellia, and then we do your boom. And that hit 600,000. So let's swap this up now. Let's throw on Shorekeeper. So basically, we want to do a bunch of normal attacks and heavy attacks, charge attacks, to get the Resonance Liberation up, and then do a skill, her Echo, throw out her Resonance Liberation, and then we can swap to our second character, and Camellia. That's your burst. I didn't mean to do your burst. I meant to do this. That hit 600 and a little bit more thousand. That's actually a lot smaller of an increase than I thought. Let me go somewhere I know I can get a good test run. And that is in our lovely Tower of Adversity, which I've already fully completed the resetting part. I think this is actually the first time I've ever completed it, but that's because I've finally got some half-decent characters going on, and Fallover has helped a lot. But this middle team basically stays the same every time. It's Camellia, Rochia, and Sanhua. And realistically, probably won't change because I will just end up putting Shorekeeper on one of these sides and Verena on the other, because Camellia does enough damage to just solo everything herself. So we can actually get a full rotation in now because we have no Concerto energy. So we want to do 2 of those. Then skill, Echo, Resonance Liberation. That should give us an outro skill, which it does. So we can swap to Rochia. We can do all of Rochia's stuff. Then Camellia, do your Resonance Liberation. And then we do some normal attacks until I can get this, and boom. That was a lot less than I thought it was going to do. And we can do one more, boop. That was even less. But now we should be able to do... I thought Shorekeeper... Hold up. I need to try something. Your thing right now, right? See it's blue? Lovely. If I swap out of you, it should go purple. it does go purple. Now, if I swap out of you again, or if I swap to another character, it should go gold. Yes, it does go gold. And then in theory, as long as your Resonance Liberation stays up, which it disappeared, I should be able to swap back to Shorekeeper, and she does her enhanced intro skill. Go Shorekeeper, swap to Rochia, swap to Camellia, and then swap straight back to Shorekeeper if you want to have that enhanced intro skill, which doesn't really work for Camellia's rotations because Camellia wants to spend a lot of time on field, especially now that I have her S6. So I think we won't really be seeing that enhanced intro skill too much because by the time we're done with Camellia's rotations, Shorekeeper's burst has disappeared. But I do definitely think we are doing more damage with Shorekeeper, which is expected. We should be doing more damage with Shorekeeper. How much does your skill heal for? I think it was about 5,000. Which is not bad. It's not like incredible, but it's not bad. I don't believe her burst heals. No, it doesn't. No, it does. It does some very small amount of healing. Yeah, 1,000 heals. She is like the best support in the game, and she definitely does live up to that. So she is going to be a perfect fit for probably not my Camellia team. It'll most likely be my Forlova team, or Carlotta team, or my Cardathea team, or my Zani team. Honestly, any of the teams, I'll probably end up using Shorekeeper in. Just probably not the Camellia one, because the Camellia one's too strong anyway. It doesn't need more damage to clear the Tower of Adversity. If we're talking about doing other more difficult endgame content, then I probably will use Shorekeeper with Camellia, but at least for Tower of Adversity, I don't really need any more damage out of Camellia. So with that, that is where I'm going to leave this video off. We finally have Shorekeeper, and I am so stoked. I absolutely love Shorekeeper. She has some of the coolest attack stuff in the game. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you like this video, go check out my S6 Camellia pools. She is the first S6 character I've ever had and shreds everything. But with that being said, I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.